Hello. One of the things we want to talk about is, or I want to share with you today, is the best in show with man's best friend, our friendly dogs. And with that, what it might take to actually be able to show a dog and to know some of the costs and some of the requirements that might need to go into doing that. So moving forward, so two of the big costs that go into this are grooming and kenneling for your animals. Grooming is a huge item of showing because you have to be able to have the best foot forward with it, as it would be put, or the best paw forward with it, that would be put. And so that's going to cost money because they always have to be looking splendid in their best. And with that, we have two items that we looked at for it, or two different budgetary areas. So you got your budget for both kennels and grooming, and you've got your mid price for both kennels and grooming. And when we're talking budget, we're talking about $2,700 for the average for budget. Now, notice it is in pounds because this was taken in England, but the conversion rate at this point is about $1.25 for every pound. So it's a little bit more expensive than what you see there by about 25%. So as we look at the mid, we're looking at about $3,200, where your budget is your sporting category and your mid-range is more of your working dogs. And so, those working dogs are larger, they have more they need to take care of, and that's kind of a big deal. And so, also looking at this, I'd like to bring your items to herding, which the first picture of a German Shepherd was there. And keep that in mind as we move forward, it's about an average cost. So as you're looking to go into this, that might be worthwhile looking at. Kennels, it's the same idea. You have an average cost for your budget about $1,200, and for the mid-range is about $1,500, with your sporting being the high end on your budget side, and again, working dogs being the high end on the mid-range price, primarily because again, the working dogs have that size with them, and so they have to be able to have a larger area to work in and possibly be able to move around and be let out by whoever's watching them. So as looking at those two costs per year and what people are willing to spend, we kind of look at the total cost per category of dogs that we have here. And so from the working to the toy terriers, the non-sportings, like how much does an individual spend a year in that? And so on that, your highest amounts are your terrier and your sports. Those are 36,000, almost $37,000. And your least not expensive or your non-sporting at 24,000, and your terriers at the same amount, which constitutes about, anywhere from 16% to 11%, depending of the total cost that the industry spends on it. So as you're looking to invest into this area, or if you want to jump into this with both feet first, you're going to need to have anywhere from about 25 to $35,000 spending cash to be able to put forth to it. Again, I'd like to bring your attention to the herding dogs. They're at about 14% at $26,000. And the main reason for that is the training that has to go into it, because there's no bad training. It's just, did the trainer actually take the time to be able to put forth the effort to do it? And as we look at the intelligence categories, the obey at the first commands, the repetitions to understand commands, do you have to do it 15, 30 times, or can they learn it after 5? Your best category, your best breed of that is going to be your sporting dogs. And again, remember, those are the most expensive dogs out there. It's at about $36,000. Your next ones are your herding ones, your German Shepherds. They tend to pick up onto things just as well. Maybe not as easily, but when you're talking on 11%, or about a $5,000 difference a year in investment needs, on top of that, maybe time to do it, and space with the grooming and everything else, that tends to you need to take that into consideration as well. So as you look at this and you may be interested in showing a dog, not only is the cost important, but also the temperament and how well the dog will be able to take to the commands and be able to execute it. So for like me, I just kind of like to have the best in the dog park. And so with my Bernese Mountain Dogs, that's where I'm at. If I were to show, these are some of the things I would look at, and I hope that you've enjoyed it.